Most of the time, things are always crazy. If you've ever watched the vlog, you know I'm always busy traveling, doing something. But for some reason, I think just the insanity of the last couple years that we've all been through, compounded with a bunch of work stuff and personal stuff and health stuff and just everything going on, I didn't realize how high my anxiety levels were until I finally ended up in the emergency room and had to meet with my doctor. For the last, I don't know how many months now, it's almost coming up on a year here that I haven't uploaded a video. I have been wanting to create, I have been wanting to make videos, and I've made a lot of attempts, but I've never finished the job. And the reason I'm gonna keep the Colorado footage in this is because I had every intention of vlogging that entire trip because it was such a good trip. It was such a good family trip. Everybody had a good time. The kids were great. We met up with family and friends and all these different things happened. And I wanted to document all that. I ended up documenting some of that. I brought all my camera gear and all the stuff. I'm like, I'm in it this time. I'm gonna do it, I promise. Like, here we go. And I did. I actually brought the camera out. I had the Gorilla Pod. I was vlogging and doing things when we were hiking and all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, that drive and that ambition to get it done, it just kind of fizzled out. You know, with family and work and everything else going on, I have been so overwhelmed that this has taken a back seat. And I just stare at my gear and I look at it like, oh my gosh, I used to use this stuff every day, and now here we are, and it's been almost a year since I've done anything with it. Normally I'm a very just ambitious person, go get it, and I will get the project done. But the problem was I started not feeling that way, and I started disengaging with just life in general. I started really just having this weird lethargic, like, I don't care attitude about everything, not just vlogging, but just I couldn't engage, I couldn't be present, I was really foggy. I've been really working hard to get back in a better mindset, to be positive and get out of this funk, and finally, I feel like I've had some relief. I ended up going and talking to my doctor, and I had everything done under the sun. MRIs, CAT scans, blood work, you name it. Like, I just didn't feel right. I couldn't tell what it was, but I didn't feel right with me. Problem was, every test I took, everything was coming back, no, you're fine, you're healthy, you're good. And I couldn't figure this out. I didn't know how to explain it or express the fact that I don't feel like me. Like, I know myself, I know my body, and I just don't feel right. I kept having all these ridiculous coughing fits, and just like, they would come out of nowhere. It was really starting to affect my life and really interrupting life, interrupting family life, interrupting work life. It made me feel like I didn't want to be in public. And having a coughing fit in public isn't ideal in the climate today, so it was weird. It was this really weird time, and I could not figure it out. Finally, one day I was taking Jovi to her basketball practice, and Maureen was at work. She was at the hospital working, and I had what I can only assume a heart attack. Feels like I've never had a heart attack, but I just had a tightening in my chest. I couldn't breathe. And I had Jovi and Elliot with me in the car, and it scared the crap out of me because here I am driving a vehicle and these two kids are with me. I ended up pulling into a parking lot and calling 911 and went in the ambulance with Elliot and Jovi. We went down, met up with Maureen at the hospital, and again, all the tests, everything were just normal. Body was good, everything was fine. And that just made me even more frustrated. It's one thing if you can sense something and you go to the doctor, you figure it out, you know what's wrong, you fix it. It's even more frustrating when you go to the doctor and everything's fine, but yet you just know, like, you know you don't feel right. Then I ended up going to my actual doctor, and we sat down and had a good conversation. And we started talking about stress and anxiety and things like that. And she said she has seen an uptick in anxiety, and I'm not a medical expert here. I don't claim to be. This is just my experience. But she said in my age group, she's seen an uptick in a lot of people with anxiety just because of things going on and unknown futures and you name it. People that don't generally have stress and anxiety are all of a sudden coming up with stress and anxiety, and they can't recognize it because they normally don't have it. They normally just deal with it and move forward, and they don't have to have any medical consequences because of it. I had to do this full questionnaire thing and fill out a bunch of information, and at the end of the day, we figured it out. And at the end of the day, I actually have very, very high anxiety. And a lot of people, they equate anxiety and depression together. They rope them together, and that's just not the case. You can be just anxious without being depressed. You can be depressed without being anxious, but they generally do go together, but they can be separated. I actually started on some medication that could help calm me down a little bit and get me on the right track and get my mind on the right track, and started out really low dose, and that's really all I needed. That was like the perfect amount. And within the first day of taking this, my life changed. And I started feeling like Brian again. I started feeling like myself. I started getting up with a purpose and wanting to get up, wanting to work, wanting to just get things done and move forward. I was then able to start driving my kids around. It was so bad that almost every single time I got in a car, I would have one of these episodes where I'd start just coughing and dry heaving, and it was just, I can't even describe how awful I felt, because I just felt like I kept letting people down. Everywhere I went, I just felt like I was letting people down, family, coworkers, and I couldn't focus. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't focus and really get things done. I really want to make this video because of the mental health aspect. I think we're starting to get to a point where we can talk about it openly, but a lot of times we hide it because it's seen, so a lot of times it's seen as weakness, or, oh, you're weak, just suck it up and this and that. But it's incredible to me how many people do have mental health issues, and I feel like the more we can talk about it, the easier it is on people, and the more accepted some people can feel. Luckily, in my circles, I've got good support. I've got people that call me out and actually notice when something's wrong. And they will call me and say, hey, Brian, are you okay? What, you seem off. Something's not right. You're not passionate. You're not your normal self. What's crazy is how sometimes it takes somebody else calling you out and showing you that something's wrong to actually see it and acknowledge it, because you're with yourself every single day. You might just think, hey, I'm stressed out. Things are crazy. It'll get better. Not going to worry about it. I'm just going to trudge forward. For me personally, it was something where I tried it on my own and it got me nowhere. It got me into a doctor. And eventually, between my doctor and my support group, family, friends, that whole thing. And right now, I feel amazing. I finally feel like I'm back to me again. And I can't tell you how refreshing that is, because it was tough. It was tough on my family. It was tough on my work colleagues. The other thing about it, I did gain some weight with this. That was part of the anxiety and dealing with anxiety. I wasn't as active. I didn't want to be active. So when you're not moving around and you're only doing the things you absolutely have to do to get through the day, I didn't feel like going on a walk or going for a run or going to the gym or any of that. Like, I just didn't feel like doing it. And so because of that, I started gaining some weight, and now I'm finally to a point where I'm like after it and trying to lose all that weight. Still have a long way to go, but I'm on the right path. And I want anybody out there that is dealing with any kind of stress or anxiety to know that it's okay. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to get help. Please reach out to somebody. I feel almost like I was robbed of time. I feel like there was a lot of time that I could have spent doing things that are productive and getting me towards my goals and everything else. And instead, I couldn't even muster up the energy to do that. I started doing the bare minimum to get through day-to-day life. If that sounds like you, if that sounds like something you're going through, let me know in the comments. And if you want to have a conversation, if you want to talk or whatever, totally open to it. I will talk to you. It's really not easy and it's difficult to get through, but you can get through it. And when you get to that other side and you start seeing more light at the end of the tunnel, it's very satisfying. And you also come out on the other side almost stronger and better than you were before, because I've been down that road, I can sense when I'm heading down the wrong path and I can quickly course correct and go down the right path. I personally still have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things to catch up on, a lot of projects and just things I've been wanting to do but couldn't muster up the energy. I finally have the energy, and now I'm just trying to find the time because I'm full-time traveling again. Work has been insanely busy. Family, the kids are getting older, so they're into a bunch of activities, but I don't want to lose sight on the things that bring me joy, things like creating. That's what I really want to talk about today is mental health. And don't be embarrassed, don't feel weird. It does feel weird at first if you're not used to opening yourself up and sharing things. It is a little awkward, but trust me, it's necessary. And when you do it, you start feeling relief. You finally feel like, oh, okay, all right, I can do this and I can get to the other side of this. Getting through this video, editing it, uploading it, the whole process, getting through this video is a major step in the direction of making more videos. So in the future, I'm gonna make some more videos. I'm not committing to any kind of schedule at this point. This is step one. Step one was just to, hey, you haven't made a video in a while. From here, we'll see where it goes. The girls want me to start vlogging again. They really liked it. Even Maureen wants me to start doing it because we've looked back at some of the videos, and it's just nice to kind of have those memories all edited up really nice. They're like really good home movies, basically. And so there has been a lot of talks about it. I've also been really getting into photography lately, so there's that aspect of everything going on. And I have some cool things coming in the world of photography for me, so I'll keep you posted on that. But for now, step one, uploading this video, letting you know where I've been, how I've been feeling, and whether you watch this video or not, this video's for me. This is for me to get through the process and hit upload. I appreciate every single one of you and everybody that's reached out. You're fantastic. The community, even though I haven't been uploading, the community behind the scenes has still been reaching out, and I've still been involved in talking to people. It really shows you that once you build that true community, they actually have your back. It's not just a matter of, hey, we're here while you're making videos. So I truly, truly appreciate everybody that's kept in touch. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in the next video.
Fine.